It's your girl Jada J. Now this is my second time doing this video because the phone rang a lot of times in my last production, and even with editing, it would have been couldn't do it. So we're moving on. I will tell you right out the gate, I did not take notes for this episode, which might have been a major mistake because as the Jedi, the big brother, check him out, we'll call it was a reviewer's nightmare if you're talking about dialogue, but very good episode. So we're just gonna go right in. Okay, so let's go. We open up right where we left off last week, which you remember Thirsty, as the big brother would call him, or Justin, came in talking about don't call Jeffrey no more. So Wyatt was bucking up over the phone, but when he got there, So they flipped over the couch last week. Pick up there. Justin is beating Wyatt down, or should I say the stunt double, because you guys, okay, I wasn't going to say nothing about this. It was evident that these were stunt doubles. And we know TV shows and movies and stuff like that use stunt doubles. That's fine. I shouldn't have been able to. There should have been. Okay, they didn't do the stunt. That's fine. But there should have been less of Justin's face, because it was really Justin. Where I was like, yo, that's like that's a whole different dude. Are we trying to say that's him, or did they switch out? Like, what's going on? They tried to say it was him. I don't appreciate it. I don't. And I'm willing to bet that Tyler wasn't behind this. He was probably offset one day, and then they did this. Because this, it didn't take away from the episode. And the great stunt doubles. There was no problem with that. Don't try to pass it off. Don't show so much of his face. Because that's not Justin. But, okay, it wasn't Wyatt either. But we're not even going to go into it. That's not the point. Just wanted to point out those were body doubles. But don't make a big commotion about it, everybody. It's not a big deal. Okay. Moving on. So, just wanted to point that out, because you give detail where you see it. So, Jim comes in, pulls Justin off of Wyatt. So as he's pulling Justin off, Justin talking about some, try it again. Then he gonna look at Jim. He said, who the heck are you? He said, I'm his father. And then he was like, what is your name? He said, go to the hockey sticks. That's my name. He said, well, I've got your badge number, son. And when I find out what your name is, you better be hiding under a rock somewhere. He said, who the F do you think you are? They bleeped it out. Yeah, do it. So he said, who the F do you think you are? He said, I am Judge Jim Cryer. and then he looks at Wyatt. He says, don't call him again. I'm serious. He's like, get out of here. And then so Justin was like, don't call Jeffrey again. I mean it. And walks out. Justin, you moving sloppy. You are moving sloppy. Okay, now we get it. You're in love with Jeffrey. He's a brother. Okay, it's easy to fall in love with this type of, Anyway, sorry y'all, just had to give a load. You know what I'm saying? When you look at all this chocolate, it could be a little bit difficult to resist, okay? So, I understand, Justin. I understand perfectly. But you're moving sloppy, okay? You're on Jim's radar. You're on David's radar. And Veronica is going to find out that it was you, sweetie pie. And you're going to be on her radar. So, you're moving all types of sloppy over this brother. And like I said, we know all about it. Because when you're looking at this, everything is altered. Okay? Everything. Okay? Trust me, I know these things, you know what I'm saying? Because as a sister, you just get so many looks when you're walking up the street. Nah, I'm not interested. Appreciate you. Okay. You get that. So we are moving on. We'll give an African American history lesson later on. Just an African lesson. Matter of fact, swish, swish. I'm clean. I don't know where that came from, y'all. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But we're going to move it on. You know why? Because I had a sugary drink. I had some coffee. It was an iced coffee, y'all. I'm telling you. And my personality is already silly. So that's why I'm like drinking sugary drinks in the middle of the day. But anyway. So, yeah. He's all types of twisted up when it comes to Jeffrey. And we know that the actor actually likes himself a little bit of chocolate because he's with Tika. They got a whole entire child together. By the way, I'm gonna get there in a minute. Because I don't want this to go too long. So yeah, we already know he appreciates the chocolate on and off the screen, brother or sister. All right. So yeah, we understand that, but you moving all types of sloppy. So he leaves, and then Jim is like, "Don't call Jeffrey again." Do you have something you want to tell me, Wyatt? He said, no, I don't have anything I want to tell you. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. He said, son, if you're in love, if you're attracted to Jeffrey, I don't mind. He's an attractive young man. He's like, Dad, get out of here. He's like, Wyatt. He's like, what the F are you even doing here, Dad? He's like, I don't know. I come into a building me and your mother own. I hear two men fighting. I come in, and apparently it's my son and another man fighting over another man, and I break it up. And it looks like I saved your miserable ASS, don't you think? He said, get out of here, Dad. Get out of here. He said, oh, no, I came to talk to you, son. He said, I don't got nothing to say to you. He said, okay, well, you sit there while I do the talking. Well, I want you to drop this case that you got with the DA. He said, no. I'm not doing it. As a matter of fact, it's already done, Dad. I've already said what I had to say, and y'all are going down. Oh, we're going down, huh? Well, what you think your life is going to be like when me and your mother go down? He said, well, I think it's going to be a real happy life. And he's smiling and grinning and all that. He said, well, you going to be happy being broke? He said, oh, broke? He said, I'll never be broke. He said, son, you spent $2 million on an apartment that's worth $700,000. You're like a lottery ticket winner, son. You don't know how to manage money. It'll be gone in like a freaking week. All these drugs and waking up in the middle of the street. He said, I'm clean. He said, how long do you think you're going to stay clean? Belittling him. Like, is this how you talk to your son, Jim? We already know why it's out of control or whatever. But at the same time, you going to say, he going to tell you he clean and you go, oh, how long is that going to, for real? But anyway, so he's like, I'm clean, Dad. I'm staying clean. He's like, son, I want you to stay clean. I love you. He said, you love me? He said, yes, son, I love you. He said, Dad, I don't care what you say. I'm not dropping the case against you and Mom. It is what it is. He said, you're really going to go through with this? You're really going to do this? He said, son. And then he goes, Dad, I already told you it's done. He said, son, you're going to come groveling back to me and your mother anyway. So why not just, come on, just drop it. Drop it, forget about the statement, and we can go back to doing whatever it is that we do. He said, I will never come back to you and Mom. He said, son, this is the last time he said, what you gonna do? You gonna kill me, Dad? You gonna kill me now? He said, you're my son. I will not kill you. Pretty much letting him know if you were somebody else, you'd have been 6 feet under, homie. You'd have been 6 feet under. But since you're my son, you get an exception. So he said, Wyatt, this is the last time I'm going to try this. This is the last time I'm going to talk. By the way, I don't really appreciate, because at this point, it's a game of chess with him and Wyatt. You know, Wyatt will do something effed up, then he goes, but it's always, I love you, son. I love you. I love you. And it's just like, but, I mean, I'm sure he does. Matter of fact, I'll say he loves Wyatt. But at the same time, like, you try belittling him, you try overpowering him, and then you think that he's at an age where he's a man. So you think he's going to appreciate this other man. Yeah, you're his father, but you're always trying to overpower him. And he a grown man. And you're trying to relate to him. I don't really get that. And then, on top of that, you already have spoken to Sarah about getting you the file and getting rid of the record of him and Jeffrey saying no testimony. So you already have things in place. But you're coming here trying to talk. You're getting the record anyway. So no matter what he says, I don't appreciate it. And you know he wasn't. Anyway. Jim said, this is the last time I'm trying to talk to you about this. He leaves. So Wyatt is paying it dust. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be coming back up. So I'm going to switch over to the hospital where Veronica's at. I don't think she did the fake cough this week. The doctor comes on up in there. He's like, oh, how you doing? She's like, I'm all right. How's everything looking? He's like, well, we looked and, everything seems to be checking out. Didn't y'all think he was going to say we found something on the x-ray or something like that? I was praying for it. I said, watch him say she only got 4 weeks to live. Watch. He's going to come in and say that. He didn't say it. You know what? And matter of fact, I'm mad at Tyler because I was on set. I wrote that when the doctor comes in, he's going to say, ma'am, you have 4 weeks to live. So you might want to start apologizing to everybody that you wronged because you only have these 4 extra weeks. But it didn't happen because Tyler told me it was in. Once again, when I left, it's out. So he tells everything checks out and that they could discharge her. She said, but I thought they said it was going to be a couple more days. Almost like she wanted to stay in the hospital. Like, because she knows people are looking for her. So he's like, no, like everything's good. If you're ready to go, then it's fine. She's like, okay, cool. So, he goes, actually, there's an officer out here that would like to talk to you. She's actually been asking questions about you every hour on the hour to make sure you're okay. She goes, really? He's like, yeah, so officer, I don't know, I think it was Delani, however you pronounce it. Excuse me, didn't appreciate her. Officer Delani comes on into the hospital room. And Veronica like, oh, the officer gonna be like, oh, how you doing? She's like, well, you're a little late, aren't you? She said, excuse me? She said, after I've already been ran off the road and all. She's like, yes, ma'am, that's what I'm here to find answers about. She's like, okay. She goes, well, did you get a good look at him? Like, how do you know it's a man? Whatever. Did you get a good look at him? She goes, no, it was in my rear view. Okay, do you know what kind of truck it was? It was she goes, it was a black truck. It was an older model. Okay, do you think you were pushed off the road intentionally? She goes, yeah. And then, so Officer Delaney Delani was like, okay, well, if you remember anything, just call us. And then, before that, I want to say, she asked Veronica, do you have any enemies? And Veronica goes, well, what does that mean? She goes, let's just say I'm an attorney who's represented a lot of bad people. I'm sure I have some enemies. She said, but you don't have any idea who this. She's like, actually, I got a few ideas who this could be. She goes, well, if you remember anything, just call. And she goes, I will call your boss if I remember anything, because you don't seem too bright. And Officer Delaney Delani's jaw is dropped, like she don't know what to say. The witch just came in and just, by the way, never mind. But don't appreciate Dr. Delaney Delani. And for a minute, I thought when they said it was an officer out there, before they said it was she, I was like, let me find out Justin knows that she survived the accident. And that he's gonna, by the way, I'm sure this information somehow is gonna get back to him that she's alive. Can't wait to find that out. But, so, she completely just get out Officer Delaney Delani and Officer Delaney Delani actually asked her at one point, was there any road rage? And she goes, no, I was just driving and then a truck came behind me and started ramming me, like out of freaking nowhere. So she tells her she needs to get out because she's like, I need to get ready to go. So she actually ends up calling Benny. She's like, Benny? He didn't pick up the phone. She got his voicemail. Oh, I just wanted to tell you that I got discharged, so it looks like I'm not going to need the clothes because I'm actually going to be coming home. Okay, call me back. Hangs up. Of course, she's all giddy. Even though she got the voicemail, I was over it because he's up in her room with Melissa. So you got your nose wide open for this man who got something else wide open for somebody else. Moving on. Okay, so we're going to switch on over to the jail. David comes out, I guess, from the interrogation room talking to him. He was like, you know what? This is it. She's really done it now. She's done it now. So he puts on his jacket. He said, you know what? Dials the number. I said, who you calling, David? He calls it Veronica. She said, what the heck do you want? He goes, Veronica, why did you put our son in jail? She goes, I got in an accident. He said, Veronica, this is our son. She goes, don't you care? I'm okay. And he's like, Veronica, how could you do this to our son? She goes, well, he likes to be with the boys, so jail is a good place for him to be. You cannot control him, Veronica. Oh, yes, I can. We need to get him out of here. No, we don't. He goes, Veronica, he's not gonna last in jail. She goes, I don't care, David. This is our son. I don't care, David. He was like, you are such a simple. She said, go ahead, David. Call me a simple B again. Didn't appreciate that David backed down. I was over it. Call me a simple B again, David. Come on, do it again. He said, Veronica, this is crazy. We need to get him out of here. I don't care, David. And hangs up the freaking phone. I hate her. I'm over Veronica. I can't with her. I've decided I can't with Veronica. So, David hangs up the phone. It's me, and somebody's calling him back. He thinks Veronica. He's like, you are being a hateful witch, and I can't freaking believe. Hello? It's Erica. I'm over her. And he's like, oh, Erica? She was like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. She's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I'm just dealing with another situation. She goes, another woman? Girl, are you having enough to try and get jealous with when you playing him this whole time? Go sit down, Erica. Go sit down. Have a seat in the F section. I'm over it. So, shout out to James Caldwell. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So, anyway, he, wait a minute. Wait. So he gets back on the line. He's like, no, of course not. My ex did something horrible. I'm dealing with it right now. She's like, oh, well, I'm really sorry. He's like, it's okay. It's just something with my son. What's going on? She's like, I just want to know what time you'll be back. He's like, I don't know. I'm down here handling my son, but why? What's up? No reason. I just had to run some errands. And he's like, okay, yeah, you go ahead and do that, and I'll see you later on tonight or whatever. She's like, yeah, okay. What errands? Was she trying, are you bringing somebody by the house? Huh? And you just don't, like, you want to know, what time you going to be back? Is it that type of thing? I don't know, but I'm over her. I've been told you, I'm over Erica. I can't. I can't. At this point, the only way she could really redeem herself with me is if she confesses to David that she's been using him and she knows Candace, has known Candace this whole time, and it's a setup. And even then, you might not be back in my good graces. I'm over you. So, David actually ends up going, where the outer section is, because right now he's like where when you first enter the building, so now he's going through the doors. He sees Justin. He said, I need to come on over here and talk to you. He said, I don't got nothing to say to you. He said, well, I have something to say to you. Leave my son alone. He said, I'm not doing anything to your son. I don't even know what you're talking about. He said, well, listen, I know my son is gay, and that something is going on between the two of you, and I'm asking you to leave him alone. He said, I'm not gay. He's looking all around still trying to deny the fact. He said, well, from what I hear, there's a video that says otherwise. I said, come on, David. Come on, David. Here goes, Justin. Well, I don't know what your son told you. I'm just telling you, you need to leave my son alone. As a matter of fact, I went through the police report of, when they found the body at Candace Young's house. He's like, yeah, and he said, you were one of the officers. No, he goes, you were there. He's like, yeah, I was one of the officers. Like that doesn't prove anything, trying to have that, And David's like, oh, you just made this really easy for me. He said, how so? He said, I can make it look like you planted Jeffrey's keys at the crime scene because you're a psychotic, jealous lover. He said, keep playing with me. I'll have you looking like the detective on the O.J. Simpson trial. I will ruin you. Ruin you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because he was trying to kind of buck up like he's not scared of David. Oh, David got you now. That's what I'm saying. You moving sloppy, Justin. You moving sloppy. So, David gets up and leaves. But before that, he sees Candace being walked in. Okay, he sees her being walked in. There was no exchange or anything, though. He kind of just, So, the lady, remember the Hispanic lady that came with the white dude at the hotel? She's the one walking Candace in. And she sits Candace right across from Jeffrey in his cell. So, Jeffrey turns around. He's like, oh, she got you in here too, right? Talking about Veronica. And she's like, no, that's not why I'm here. He's like, Candace, I gotta get the F out of here. I'm going crazy in here. You see that guy? He's rude and disgusting. I can't make it in here, Candace. Jeffrey, be cool. He's like, no, Candace, I can't last another hour in here. This is crazy. I can't. And she's like, Jeffrey, be cool. They don't have anything on us right now. Just calm down. He's like, well, how long do you think it's going to take? My mom already told him I confessed. She's like, that doesn't matter. Your dad can still represent you as your defense counsel. Just be cool. He goes, well, how long is that going to take? And she goes, I don't know, but just hang out. He was like, well, she goes, listen, what, he said something and she was like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, well, it's easy for you to say you're not in here yet. And she goes, what is that supposed to mean? He said, all I know is I didn't commit this crime by myself. He was like, you and your brother. He's like, she goes, Jeffrey, don't. She said, just be cool. You'll be out as soon as you know your dad is going to get you out. Don't worry about it, but you got to be freaking cool. Now, here's what irritated me about this scene. Because then at one point, she goes, Jeffrey's like, I shouldn't be in here. And Candace goes, you know what you did. He goes, I know what we did. I know what you did. So here's what I hated about this scene. I wasn't really upset about the fact that Jeffrey kind of threw in her face, I know I didn't commit this crime by myself. So if you think I'm going down by myself, you got to twist it. Because Candace would have easily done the same thing. So that's not what I'm upset about. I'm upset about the fact that they would do that to each other, period. Because they would. Jeffrey's really punk-like. So he's not going to want to go to jail. Which, okay, fine. Candace is very self-absorbed. So she's not, just a mere thought alone of her going down for somebody else. Candace is not doing that. And in just a second, Candace could flip it. Oh, who do you think they're going to believe? The damsel in distress? Or, the big, strong, strapping. And I think she'll pull on Jeffrey in a minute because she has. So y'all supposed to be partners in crime. So the fact that they would flip on each other like that is kind of getting on my nerve. Side note. No, I'm going to get there in a second. So the lady comes in and is like, no talking to the inmates. Okay, but that's what really annoyed me about that scene. And she takes Candace on. But a side note on Tika for a second. Okay, now I'm mad at y'all, those of y'all out there, because y'all did not tell me. Y'all know the movie Bessie, it was an HBO special, I think back in 2015. They did a movie on the jazz singer Bessie Smith, who's a sister, African-American jazz singer, I think around 1920s, during like the Harlem Renaissance. So, but here's what I didn't know that probably some of y'all knew. So I watched the movie because Monique talked about it on the Roland Martin interview And I was like, I gotta check this out. So, but I didn't know that interview was actually back in 2015. Anyway, so I go watch the movie. Okay, by the way, had to do a lot of fast forwarding. Wasn't expecting that. I was actually thinking about doing a review on it, but because it came out 3 years ago, I probably won't. But getting to the point where Tika, y'all did not tell me that Tika was up there playing Queen Latifah's lover, like one of the side pieces at that. Or Bessie Smith. Bessie had about three. She had a lot of little sides on her. Okay, and Tika was one of them. I said, "Is that Tika?" No, it's not. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, wow, Tika, that's what you're doing now." I couldn't. They was doing no. When I first seen it, I was like, "Okay, this is gonna be Bessie's daughter." And then they started kissing. I said, "Oh, I don't think that's how you kiss your daughter." So I was like, "Oh, really, Tika?" Because I consider myself pretty familiar with her work. I've seen her, like, a lot of her stuff. I actually know her from, she was on One Life to Live, which was a soap opera that was, like, a few years ago. I think it got canceled. But she left the show before it got canceled. And, I know her from The Game. I actually reckon she was one of the first scene of the Haves and Have-Nots was Tika and Jim. But anyway, and I recognized Tika, like, right out the gate. So I know, never knew she did a role like that. Not saying anything about it. She was doing the most in that movie, though. So was Queen Latifah. But it was Bessie Smith, so they acting it out. And she was a side. You was a side piece too, Tika, a lesbian, but not even a lesbian, y'all, because she ended up actually leaving Bessie to get married to a man, talking about she want a family. Anyway, Bessie was doing a lot. Moving on. So, the lady comes in. I'm sniffling all through this video. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't. Somebody has given me an allergy. I'm over it. So, yeah, just side note on Tika. Go watch Bessie if you haven't seen it. It is a good film. You might have to, if you're like me, you're gonna have to do a lot of fast forwarding though. Because they was doing the most. But yeah, so the Vice lady comes in, is like no talking to the inmates. She goes and puts Candace in a cell with Quita. But we're gonna come back there. So I'm gonna switch over to, let's do Hanna. Because this episode was entitled Hanna's Tea. By the way, this is the Haves and Have Not Season 6, Episode 6, Hanna's Tea. So, they're over there, and I got a good look at the outside of the house. It is the plantation. I feel I've got a very plantation-y vibe from the house. Just didn't appreciate it, but it is a nice house. Can't lie about that. So, when Hanna's coming up the stairs, here goes Catherine, like, this is my humble abode. Nothing humble about that abode, okay? They go on in there. She's showing her all around. She actually at one point gets to the staircase and is like, I got married in this house. She said, I descended this staircase to my illustrious James. Yeah, we see how that turned out, Catherine. We see how that turned out. She said, but I do have some good memories, though. You know, she said distant, but good memories. She actually goes, my grandfather, cut off, so I'm just gonna go where I think it cut off at. So she's telling her, I had a lot of good memories, distant, but good memories. She tells her the house was built in 1898 and that it had 3 remodels done. Her grandfather remodeled it. Her father remodeled it. Then this is her remodeling the house. So, it looks great. So then she brings her in the kitchen to speak to her current housekeeper that Hannah's supposed to be here showing the ropes. And I was like, girl, what is wrong with you? Because then Catherine is just telling her, like, she knows everything about me and my family. You know, she dang near is family. And then Joanne's like, okay. And then she's like, she's just going to show you around how things need to be done and all this. Oh, yeah, sure. And then, Hanna steps in and is like, look, I'm not here to step on your toes. I'm just here to help you out, guide you through a little bit. I just know a little bit about what she wants. Oh, great. I'm so glad to hear that. And I was like, girl, like, I don't know if she was doing that, like, just she didn't really want to respond to Catherine or what, I don't know. And she just wanted to hear, like, I know you ain't here trying to take my spot. But she responded to Hanna a little bit better than she was responding to anything Catherine was saying. So, Joanne, she seems cool. At first, I was like, something might be wrong with you. Okay, you might have a couple screws loose, sister. I don't know. But it turns out she's okay. So then Derek David comes on in there. Derek David comes up in the kitchen. And Catherine is like, oh, hi, Derek. And Hanna goes, I didn't know you was going to be here. So Derek's like, oh yeah, I'm just around, fixing a couple things, whatever. She's like, you know what, Joanne, I actually have a couple things to show you. And Hannah goes, Catherine. She goes, what? She goes, I'm supposed to be showing her the ropes. She goes, oh no, Hannah, this is fine. Just, matter of fact, why don't you put on some tea? Derek, you want some tea, right? He's like, no, actually, I'm good. She's like, no, he'll take some tea. And then so Hannah is like, Catherine, I know you're not trying to. She's like, I'm gonna show Joanne. Because Hannah makes the best tea in the South. Come on, makes the best tea in Savannah. Just hook her up. So she goes on to take Joanne out. They in there, and then so Hannah was like, I'm gonna kill her. Because she did this on purpose, didn't she? He's like, I don't know, because at first he's trying to play along. And so he's like, can you make me some tea? Maybe I will take some tea. She go, well, they'll go to stove. He's like, but she said you had the best tea in Savannah. And she goes like, okay, fine, but if I do this is our coffee date. This us having tea, that's good. He's like, well, it's not exactly what I had in mind, but I'll take it. So, and then at one point, he goes, well, so tell me something about yourself. She said, oh, I'm being interviewed. And he was like, yeah, She was like, I don't really have... She didn't really tell him nothing, pretty much. And she was like, well, what about you? He was like, I was married for a long time. Don't remember what the amount he said. He was like, I have 3 boys. I'm a widower. And she goes, oh, wow, like, how'd your wife die? He goes, it was cancer. And then he goes, he who holds the sparrow, because he says his wife, like, she always, like, calmed him down. Like, don't overanalyze this, don't overanalyze that. He's like, she was a funny woman. She kept me sane. And he goes, he who holds the sparrow. She goes, oh, are you, like, a Christian? He goes, like, yeah, actually, I'm a deacon at some long ASS church name. You know how they do it. And, so it wasn't that long, but I couldn't. I think they call it Calvary, but that was, like, the abbreviated version. And then he was like, have you ever been there? She goes, no, I've never even heard of it. He's like, well, you should come down there one day. She's like, yeah, I might. And he goes, are you a Christian? She goes, yeah, actually, I go to First Emmanuel. She's like, he's like, I never heard of that one. And she goes, yeah, it's a small, he was like, yeah, ours too. Everybody knows everybody. By the way, isn't Calvary the same name as Travis's family's church on If Loving You Is Wrong? Is it not? Moving on, he knows Travis's father. I'm already over you, Derek. I don't know about you, because people are saying that lion might be there. That lion might be there. We're going to find out. Hopefully not. Hopefully Hannah keeps all her clothes on. But we'll see, because she almost got into it with Michael. By the way, where is Michael? Just question. But, so, they hitting it off. And he's okay, we're going to have this tea, and then how about we see how you feel afterwards, and then maybe we could see each other again. And she's like, okay. And she was like, so the camera cut off yet again. I'm about to just go. Okay, like I was saying, they were hitting it off. He said, let's just see how you feel. Maybe we can see each other again. And she's saying, okay. And he said, okay, now let's try this tea. You better be talking about the tea that's actually going into the cup, David. I can't. So, now, wait a minute. Am I missing anything? Okay, yep, of course. How did I almost forget this? So, we go over to the Harrington house. And so, this kind of went everywhere for me because I was skipping and just whatever. But, back at the Harrington house, Mitch is downstairs or whatever waiting on Benny. So, he decides to go upstairs. I was already had my hand on the fast forward button, I swear to God. Already had my hand on the fast forward button. So, I fast forwarded, I don't know. Mitch comes back downstairs. That's what I know about that. Okay, because there was some stuff going down in the room. So he comes on back downstairs. He was like, I cannot believe him. Like, we need to go. Mrs. Harrington walks right in the house. She's like, oh, hi, Mitch. Do you know where Benny is? He goes, oh, yeah, he's just, upstairs. He's getting your things. She's like, oh, it turns out I won't need them. The hospital discharged me. She's like, but I've actually been calling him. He's like, oh, you have? He might have actually left his phone in the car. She's like, oh, okay. Well, where is he? He's like, you know what? Why don't I go grab him for you, and then you just, sit over here. She's like, okay, thanks, Mitch. I don't think I can handle the stairs right now anyway. And so he's like, yeah, just have a seat. I'll go get him. Goes upstairs. He's like, and then, Benny's just like, didn't I tell you to get out and shut the door? He's like, Mrs. Harrington is here. Camera cuts off one more time. I'm done with everything. Just forget it all. I'm throwing the phone. I'm tossing it out. Okay. Now. Sorry. I don't mean to yell. I don't even remember where I was at. Like, that's the type of... Oh, yeah. So he's getting his clothes on. Melissa's like, "Are you kidding? You can't be serious." And she's hoeing it out pretty much and trying to get him back. Oh, Mitch, he didn't finish. Do you want to start? And so Mitch is looking at her like, "Girl, what?" She was like, "Well, why are you looking at me?" Then he was like, "I'm here checking my boy." Like, what? I'm over you, bitch, because that was fake. Because we know he likes sisters too. Like, he's with Erica. Yeah, yeah. Side note, Aaron O'Connell's actually, who's Wyatt, he's actually engaged. It's to a Caucasian woman. Thank God. I couldn't do it with another interracial. No, I'm just playing. Nobody get offended. Of course she's like a model. He's a model. She just looks freaking perfect. She's not a sister, but you know, just she is what you would think that he would date. Like, you know, whatever. They just got engaged like a couple months ago or something. So shout out to Aaron O'Connell / Wyatt. Congratulations. Moving back on Mitch. So they then come down the stairs. She didn't try to get Mitch to hop on her. He ain't having it. Benny throws on his clothes, runs down the stairs, and she's sitting at the side of the bed looking like a hooker. Like, I can't. They're gonna say, "Oh, hi, Mrs. Harrington." She's like, "My hero," and just I can't stand her. I cannot stand her. She's hideous. She looks a mess. She's toe up. She doesn't have any earrings on. She's just raggedy to me. She's raggedy. It's raggedy. It's Raggedy Ann, the black version. So Raggedy Ann, Veronica, whatever. He's like, actually, I gotta get going. She was like, "Oh, I just wanted to tell you that I got discharged." So he was like, "Oh yeah, I see. You still look beautiful." Benny, go sit down, because you should have been washing your hands before you even touched this woman. You should have had your hands washed. I don't care how much she was reaching out for you. Melissa comes downstairs. She gonna say, "What are you wearing?" She was like, "Clothes," or like, "What I want to," or something like that. And she was like, "Go upstairs and put some clothes on." She was like, "You like me to wear this?" She said, "For my son." She goes, "Well, he's not into it." And then she gonna try and look. She was like, "Benny, you want to go upstairs and finish?" She said, "No, he doesn't want to start anything." And then she was like, "Why is she so overprotective of you?" And she's like, "No way. Did you guys?" And he's like, "Actually, Miss Hanson, I actually have to get going. I have to go." She's like, "Well, are you sure you have to go?" And reaches out her hand, and then he grabs her hand. He should have washed his hands first. I don't care what none of y'all say. If I found out somebody was doing the hanky-panky, and they would have come and shake my hand, you are nasty. You didn't even wash your hands? You didn't have that much respect? Wow. Anyway. So yeah, he's like, "No, I gotta go." She goes, "Well, can you at least help me up the stairs?" And she's just so helpless, and I'm over her. So Raggedy Ann, it gets up, and she turns to Melissa and says, "I'll deal with you later." She said, "What you need to do is deal with them edges in that foundation." I said, "Come on, sister. Come on, sis." Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Shout out to my big brother, the Jedi. Shout out. So they end up heading up the stairs, okay? Because I'd have let the witch, I would have been like, "Yep, just one more step up, directed her up." But I'm not about to take you up the stairs for real, for real. So they go upstairs, and Melissa gonna try and grab up Mitch, talking about, "Is it true what they say about tall guys?" And then she gets on the thing. "Do you think I'm pretty? Do you want me?" And da-da-da, and da-da-da, and then jumps on the man, literally jumped, like swung on him like a vine. She swung. I said, "Well, hold on a second." And then, so Mitch is like, whoa, like, "You need to stop." And he's like, "I'm going to my car." She said, "Can I come?" He said, just stop. He was like, "You was just up there with my boy." She was like, "So?" And, just all this. She's honing it out. He goes out to the car. So we switch upstairs to Benny and Veronica. Now, once again, so she going there, sit on the bed or whatever. He's like, "I really got to get going." She was like, "Well, I just wanted to say thank you again. You saved my life. Just, kiss me," and all this. They're kissing. Disgusting. You was legit just in there with her. I can't, Benny. You're so weak. He's not doing anything for me anymore. I can't with Benny. There was once upon a time where Benny and I were married. I wasn't even going to talk about it on camera ever. And then I just said, "You know what? I can't deal with this weak thing that you're doing anymore. I'm out. Just anybody throwing anything at you, you taking it. I can't." And that's what's happening. So they kissing, and he's like, "I really gotta go." She's like, "If I wasn't in so much pain, I'd throw you down right now," and just all the extra desperate with her. And he's like, "I really have to go. I have, things I gotta do." And So, and Mitch, by the way, I want to say that Mitch was telling him when they were actually downstairs, he's like, Benny, we got to go this meeting. Because remember, they still got to go talk about this money with his uncle. So, but then she was like, could you help me up the stairs first? So she was like, well, what about later tonight? He's like, I don't know. She's like, tomorrow. He's like, come on, Vern. He's like, she goes, please. And then he's like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. Whatever. He ends up leaving. She was like, I heard you in there kissing her. I heard you in there kissing her. And then so, and Melissa and Benny was like, look, I gotta go. This was a mistake. And that's what he actually told her. As soon as he jumps up off her, pulling up his pants, this was a mistake. And then, and he tells her again, he was like, look, it was a mistake. She was like, I know you enjoyed it. He was like, look, it was a mistake. I gotta go. She's like, okay, but we're not finished. And he's like, excuse me, Melissa. Goes down, gets in the car. And Mitch is clowning him like, what the heck was that? You know, I can't believe you did that. He's like, man, I can't believe you. Da, 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 da. He was like, you got both of them going crazy for you and this. And he was like, why would you even sleep with her? Like, she's like crazy or whatever. And then he goes, because she was cute and had a fat behind. I said, now, Benny, please fall down the flight of stairs. I'm done. I'm over it. So, okay, I think this was the final scene. We're going to switch back on over to Quita and Candace. So they go ahead and put Candace in the cell with Quita. And she's sitting there, and Quita was like, oh, she thinking she's tough. She ain't S-H-I-T, you know, just trying to go in on her. And she gonna say, oh, you finally got what you deserve for killing my brother. She said, they finally got you. She said, unlike you, Quita, I'll be out of here in no time. She said, oh, really? Nah, she said, you killed my brother, and now your ass is about to fry. Like, I remember that was on the preview. I was like, Quita, shut up, because I knew it was her. So Candace is like, okay, Quita, whatever. Go smoke a rock. Go find a rock. She said, no, the only thing that's frying is your brain. From all that crack you smoke. And Quita was sitting here like this as she's speaking. Here's Quita. Quita's rocking back and forth. Okay, I got a headache. And I don't think she was doing that. But she might as well have been. They should have just wrote that in because that's Quita. Moving on. So she was like, I can't believe you did that to my brother. She said, I don't know what you're talking about. She said, they found him at your house, huh? You couldn't even give him a proper funeral? She said, Quita, she said, I didn't do anything to him, but I'm glad somebody got that sorry son of a bee. And she's clapping. She was like, how you gonna say that? You know he loved you. You know he loved you. She was like, he loved me. What? Didn't appreciate Candace trying to give her a self-esteem lesson because Quita's like, you know, he only hit you sometimes because he loved you. And then Candace was like, are you serious? And Candace, you got some low self-esteem yourself. So this was really weird. Them trying to, she obviously got some extra self-esteem, but then so do you. So I couldn't. I couldn't. And so she was like, are you serious? She was like, I should know. He told me every day he loved you. She was like, oh, well, thank you. I'm glad to know that he loved me. He loved your son too. She said, Quita, don't you bring up my son. She was like, yeah, that's what you get. That's why I have your brother come up in there and steal him from me. So I went cutting my check in half. She said, at least if he was with me, he'd be alive. She said, Quita, I'm telling you, don't say nothing about my son. She was like, yeah, that's why he was in there dead on that bathroom floor. And then she got up. Well, next thing you know, they ended up on the floor. And next week on the Has and Have Nots. And you see they had to come in there and get a guard to get Candace off of her. A guard to get Candace off of her. Quita, you was doing a lot of this, Quita. But you wasn't really about it. You were not about it, Quita. You're not. Now remember, Quita got arrested for being at the ATM with Wyatt's credit card or whatever it was. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. See, then they're gonna get Candace next week or try to. But y'all, this is the third time, or no, not even the fifth time the camera has shut off, and so I'm gonna cut it off right now just in case some things go wrong. But much love to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is the one and only your girl Jada J. Mad love to all my subscribers, all the people who are watching the Has and the Have Nots. It's a good show. They talking about only got 2 years left, so just hang in there, y'all. That means it's gonna be a couple more seasons. And yes, I still do watch If Loving You Is Wrong. Just haven't been reviewing it because it'd be a lot. Because like I said, this takes hours to upload. Like I'm recording this. I don't even know what time it is right now. But you guys are not gonna see it till way later. So, and then they come on. Now I'm happy they run at the same time. But so I'm gonna end it right here, you guys. But thank you so much. Mad love to you guys. It is the one and only your girl Jada J. You know what it is. I don't have to do anything today actually, but it's the one and only your girl Jada J. I'm out. face.